Always do sober what you do drunk. It'll teach you to keep your mouth shut.
Hemingway said that.
Yes, he did. And he said it to me.
I don't want you to go to Canada tomorrow.
It's for the podcast. It's what I do.
I travel around and I interview weird or interesting people.
So look out, you crazy Canucks! Wandering Wallace takes a raunchy road trip up to the Great White North.
Hello. I'm an old man who has enjoyed a long and storied life at sea. And after eons of oceanic adventure, I know I do not wish to spend my remaining years alone when I have such stories to share.
How far is Bifrost from here?
It's about 2 hours from here.
It's about 2 hours away.
I hate American guys.
Good evening.
It's nice to meet you.
Could I interest you in some tea?
So what happened after the boat sank?
I was alone, and then something very swift and frightening moved by me.
A walrus saved your life?
The walrus is far more evolved than any man I've heard of, present company included.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Would you?
There. It'll be all right, Mr. Tusk.
He hasn't called me in 3 days. I'm worried.
Why are you doing this?
Are you really mourning your humanity? I don't understand. Who in the hell would want to be human?
I'm so scared. This guy wants to turn me into an animal or something. I don't want to die in Canada.
We're doing Tusk.
Tusk.
It's the 2014 horror comedy.
Kevin Smith.
I don't consider it a comedy.
It's not a
It's not
comedy.
funny.
It's not funny. It's more horror than it is comedy.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be a comedy. I just don't find it fucking funny. So
This movie only gets funny at, like, the last 5 minutes
where?
when Guy Lapointe.
Oh, Guy Lapointe.
Guy Lapointe.
All right. The only funny part is not
That's-
even him, but
yeah.
his story of meeting the
Yeah.
him originally, the piss spider.
Yes,
The
exactly.
piss spider.
Yeah. When they're in the diner or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It's a horror kind of comedy.
Kind of comedy.
2014. Kevin Smith, obviously.
Kev.
This was Indiegogo or Funbeat.
Yeah.
Or something like
yeah.
that. It's based off his a podcast episode.
Yeah.
It just
Where they went through and they found the original post, right? It was like a
Yeah.
Craigslist post
Yeah.
of some eclectic weird
Gumtree.
Gumtree, yeah. Some weird dude in Canada that was like, you can live with me for free, but you gotta wear a walrus suit or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Something.
it's a cool idea, and I get it, but it wasn't refined enough, in my opinion. Like,
I think you hit the nail on the head before we started and called it his vanity projects. Like,
yeah,
Like, this is just Kevin Smith after Clerks money
it's
and Jay and
weird.
Silent Bob money, and he's like, okay, well,
Yeah,
I
it's really-
got $3 million in the bank that we can just throw at this dumbass idea.
But he didn't. He, like I said, it's a GoFundMe project. He like begged his fucking fans to pay for it, and it was like, really?
Yeah.
You're quote unquote best friends with Johnny Depp, and like you had your daughters in the movie together. Neither one of you was willing to throw $1 million at the door.
Right.
That's sad. It's like one of those like, oh, you hear about like Kim Kardashian bullshit where it's like,
Mhm.
oh, my car broke down, give me money, or I got robbed.
Yeah.
It just felt really distasteful to me.
Yeah. It was kind of like leveraging his celebrity just for the fact of using it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I bet I could get a bunch of idiots to fucking fund this movie.
And he did.
And it's going to be stupid. Like, telling you it's going to be stupid.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, I'm openly upfront telling you it's a stupid LOL idea, so, like, if it flops and sucks,
Right.
I can't be held accountable.
How the fuck did A24 get involved with this?
Well, it's 2014. I don't really know
That would have been early on.
how recent or old A24 is. I mean, for all we know, it could be, like, a 90s, you
Right.
know? But as far as you kept hearing, like, the mainstream, it's kind of the first time you started seeing it. I think maybe I'd seen it once before on, like, one of my weird DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the first time I'd heard A24 as far as like a mainstream success
Yeah.
or a mainstream director going with such a route.
I don't know what their first film was, but A24 was founded in 2012. Their first movie was 2013.
Okay, so literally.
So, yeah, this is like the second movie they put their name on. Probably trying to get some leverage off the Kevin Smith name themselves.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Working both ways.
This is definitely all fingers were in the pie, and everyone knew what they were doing. But from an outside perspective, to me, when it was like, when I heard the whole thing, it was just like, that. It seems really shitty and low to, like, do that. When it's like, you could have gotten this. But I think he refused.
Yeah.
To, like, work on the idea.
Yeah,
which is why he had to go this route, which is lazy to me.
And, like, I've read about this movie several times because this movie stuck around us and our friend group for years now. So us getting to talk about this is kind of like old knowledge for us, but to the world, like the whole movie was shot in like 15 days. Or something. Yeah, it was like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was a really short turnaround.
It's like I got 4 camera guys for 2 weeks. Let's fucking knock this thing out.
Which again, it seems so shady and shallow to me because the practical effects. They were really good.
Oh, very good.
If you would have paid these fucking people properly and like let them work on something longer, it could have looked better. Mm-hmm. It could have been the same plot. It could have been the same.
Yep.
But I don't think care was taken.
Me neither. I think this was rushed through. I think the production was a gag. I think everything about this movie was like a joke and a joke.
Yeah.
Type of thing for the cast, for Kevin Smith himself.
Which is fine, but it's just, I don't know, to me, it doesn't sit quite well because it's not cheesy and cheap enough to be like, okay, this is like back in the old days. Remember when you were 12 making films?
And it shows because like the budget's $3 million and it made
$1. It made 7 or something, not even.
It made like 1.9. 1.9 at the box office.
So the fans that paid for it didn't even come in enough droves to pay for what they paid for.
To pay for his inflated stupidity.
Wow.
At that point. That's hilarious.
We skipped over. The cast is Haley Joel Osment.
Haley Joel Osment. Is this one of his first movies back as an adult?
I think he had done like,
because I know he took a lot of time off after.
I think he had done some small things. Like, I think I'd say him in some IFC movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not really hip on Haley Joel's career. I just know this AI and what's the other one? Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense is 99. AI is 2001. Pay It Forward 2000. Secondhand Lions in 2003.
I forgot he was in that because you keep telling me about that movie. You're like, oh yeah, it's
good.
Michael Caine or whatever.
Yeah. I always forget he's in it. But...
Yeah.
And he does the voice for Sora.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
And they got it listed as Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah, but it's not the original. It's like a DS or some shit.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking terrible.
And then Tusk. We got Justin Long, who's not
relatively.
He's not super distant from horror. I mean, he did Jeepers Creepers. He has this new. I'll judge it before it comes out. The new take on the vampire. It's like a lesbian Bram Stoker fucking thing.
I did see something about that.
I don't know. It just doesn't look interesting to me, and it's nothing against like reimagining an old idea, but
it looks like he's already signed on for Clerks 3 as well.
Who, Haley?
No,
Justin
Long.
Okay. I was like, well, good for Haley. Money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but Justin Long, he's kind of done some horror. He's mostly a comedy actor.
Dodgeball.
Oh yeah, Dodgeball is his like the one I know him from a lot.
Yep.
What's the line? They used to shove me in lockers and make me eat clay. Yeah. Not here. They don't make me eat clay.
Yeah.
It's so good. But I mean, I honestly think he was better in Jeepers Creepers, and Jeepers Creepers is a better low-budget horror movie.
It is.
Than Tusk.
Oh, by far.
And that's including me knowing the director's a fucking pedophile.
Who's the director?
Oh, I don't know his name, but yeah, he's a major.
Oh, wow.
Major.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was going to bring those up, actually, as like a Halloween, maybe do it in October.
Oh, I don't give a shit doing it, but I'm going to say the dude's a fucking pedo. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not denying that fact. It's also me saying Hitler's painting might have been decent. Yeah. He's still fucking Hitler.
100%. I feel that way about, like, musicians.
I mean, I hate Tusk.
And everything, yeah.
And here we are. What else do we have? Michael Parks. And probably, I don't want to say a weak role for him, but especially in comparison to Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah.
Oh, so much weaker than Red State.
So much. Yeah. This is definitely the far away number 2.
Yeah, I mean the scene where he's Justin Long Wally is like kind of coming to understanding what's going on, and he's like crying, screaming for help, and Michael Parker's like help, and like it was really weak. It reminded me of the Jim Carrey yesterday when we were watching Sonic 2.
Yes. Oh my God.
It just seemed more like
Over the top.
yeah, it seemed more like he was mugging for the camera.
Being him for the sake of being him.
Yeah.
But I really like Michael Parks in this. He saves the movie,
I mean,
kind of.
he's good in it, but as far as like a serious
Yeah,
role,
like
yeah.
his roles, no, absolutely, it's nothing compared to his other roles. But he kind of holds this movie together.
Oh, I definitely
Like without Michael Parks, this movie falls apart fucking quick.
Yeah, he is definitely the most fun part of the movie. I wish he was in it a little bit more.
Yeah.
They kind of make him like I don't want to say a character in the shadow, but like they really hopscotch considering there's like 4 fucking characters in this film.
They hold back
Ugh.
the fact that he is the creepy old man for as long as they can.
And even when they let go, it's still like there's like 1 or 2 scenes of him and Wally.
Yeah.
And the actual like walrus costume.
Actually
for the
torture, yeah. Because the rest of it's just him living in the house while he knows he's chained up.
Yeah.
I guess that adds to the effect a little.
But the movie's not long enough. The movie's not dark enough to give me that. Again, so if you're going to go the comedy extreme route.
Yeah, this movie comes in at like...
Do it.
Hour 30? Hour 40?
Hour 12, I think something like that. It's not
It's like
quite
100
90.
minutes, right at 100 minutes. But, yeah, like you said, the cast is real small.
Yeah, it's like Olivia Genesis and Lily Depp, Harley Quinn Smith, and Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
That is.
Disappointed with the whole fucking cast, except for Michael Parks and kind of Justin Long. But
Justin Long's pretty good.
He also disappoints me because, again, I've seen you in campy horror.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't even you playing Jeepers Creepers. This is just you.
I liked him because in the beginning of the movie, he's such a smug asshole doing the podcast. And he's such a, like, over-the-top, full of himself type of guy. So by the end, you're like, oh my god, I feel so bad for this fucking dude.
Especially because, I will jump to the end real fast, just that his comment is, they leave him as a walrus, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the plot sucks.
You're bringing your new / cheating boyfriend to meet / see again your old boyfriend who's now a walrus, and you're just throwing fish at him?
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? It's so bad.
It's kind of fucked up.
So what's the plot, Jay? Give us the quick little...
The plot, well, Justin Long and Haley Joel Osment are best friends. They have a podcast where they talk about, like, fucked up shit that you find on the internet, like, different stories. Like, one's, like, a lightsaber kid who, like...
Oh, yes, the sword kid or something they call him.
And they're going to go interview him, or Justin Long's going to go interview him. That's what it is. Haley Joel Osment's...
Afraid of Flying. It's called the Not See Party.
Yeah, the Not See Party is the podcast.
Because he does not see the stuff. It's fucking stupid, right? It's stupid. It's
so
not even good.
Stupid.
This is coming from Neighborzilla.
Yeah. I bet they made that up, like, that part of the script, the day of.
The whole thing is.
Like, it feels like, oh, well, what are we going to call it? The Not See Party.
There's no
he's banging his
storyboard.
girlfriend, so he's not going to leave while he goes and
right.
funds the adventures and everything. Yeah.
Through his GoFundMe.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit called Kevin Smith.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's just, I didn't like any of it. None of it was refined. The whole Nazi joke, it was like...
Wasn't good.
It could have been funny if it was 10 years ago and, like, you went full force with it and, like, it was ironically unironic and it was, like, 2 Jewish podcasters. Like, you could have made the joke work.
Something.
But you didn't.
Yeah.
It's just an unclever fucking name.
And, like, new viral video. So Justin Long's got to go to Canada and he's going to interview this kid. And when he gets to Canada, the kid is already dead.
Yeah, someone said he kills himself out of spite. But I don't...
Yeah,
I just think the movie's... It was like, we need the kid dead.
Well, yeah, because like, he gets fucked up doing the stunt that they find him in the video.
But he's fine. Well, I mean, he's not fine.
He's supposed to be fine or whatever.
Wheelchair confined, handicapped the rest of your life, but...
So then, he shows up and...
Can we talk about how bad that CG was when he cuts his leg off?
It's pretty terrible.
It's like... It's that really bad,
it's
like...
nuts.
I found a ghost at my house, don't YouTube at 3 a.m.
It's sci-fi CGI
it's
bad.
So
Remember
bad.
the sci-fi channels, like zombie movies? Like, they'd bite your, like, wrist and, like,
And they came in a
2
Florida
gallons
corn
of blood.
syrup.
Yeah.
It's just digital blood.
Yeah, it's digital blood.
Oh, it's so bad.
And it's just like a fountain spray. They had to pick fountain spray 3 and
Like,
dye
yeah.
it red and
Sweeney
put it on the arm.
It's so bad. But yeah, someone said he killed himself last fight. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It has nothing to do with the plot.
No, it's literally the
Literally,
setup.
the plot
yeah.
has nothing to do with the fucking plot.
No, yeah.
And not in a clever way.
So then he's fucked because he's flown all the way to Canada, no story, and he's got to go back. So
Yeah,
he's like,
he goes to a-
fuck it. I'm gonna go to the bar.
bar?
I'm gonna find something in Canada.
And he
Something's gotta
reads
be
the
going
first piss flyer.
on. Yeah.
That's some shit you text me about. Like, hey, blah, blah, blah. I got this idea for a podcast. And you tell me, and I'm like, did you read this in a urinal?
Yeah. No shit.
And you'd be like, no. And I would find out you did. And I'm like, cool, we're not doing it. And you'd be like, fine. So automatically
Yeah,
we
it
have
was
more
tough.
credibility.
Right.
But yeah, it's not even a not weird flyer. It's like written in like quill.
Yeah.
And it's like, my dearest travelers, it's so weird.
It's roded more. It's written.
It's roded?
Yeah, it's roded. It's written in more like elegant font than the fucking Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, it's like straight up calligraphy.
It's
so weird.
It's beautiful, but yeah. And this is supposed to be Howard Howe.
Howard Howe? Yeah,
Howard
I think
Howe,
his name.
Yeah. Michael Parks' character is Note.
Is that it? Yeah, that is his real name. It's not a
Yeah.
fake name, right?
No.
Because there's like a spoiler where it's like he's not, but he is this.
Yeah.
It's weird, but
Yeah,
okay, it's
Howard
Howard
Howe.
Howe the whole
Yeah.
time. Because I know he lures him under false pretenses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like, I have many. He was a sailor, or
Yeah.
was in the Canadian.
Yeah, he was the
Navy
sailor.
forces?
And yeah.
I think Winston Churchill, or
Some shit.
what is Ernest Hemingway? I think it's
Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah, it's Hemingway or Churchill is like who he has most of the stories about. I think it is Hemingway because Hemingway's a drunk writer.
Yep.
And that was the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like the black and white flashback parts. I kind of
Yeah.
wish the movie.
Should have been that.
Not even. Yeah, I mean.
I would have
At
liked
least
the
in-
origin story.
Yeah, longer bits of like black and white, like because it does look like really cool, and even the fact that it's like the set is so cheap, it still adds to it.
Yeah.
It's like a Lighthouse Junior.
And yeah, I still haven't seen Lighthouse.
Yeah, I'd say like the black and white is like the only time I was like really piqued and interested.
Exactly.
I mean, the spoiler when I see the walrus costume, it's like you look at it for a second, like okay, it's gruesome, but it's just, you're not super duper impressed.
No, it looks that. I guess that's the comedy.
Yeah,
It's like it's almost comical how silly it looks, but the black and white gives the backstory to Michael Parks' character, who you know from jump. You know it's like a fucked up situation. You know something weird's going on, but you don't know what. So, getting the insight to like, oh, okay, he was stranded on the island. He like had to eat the walrus and like live with the walrus and shit like that.
Did he eat the walrus or did he eat his
I think he ate the people with the walrus.
So I thought.
I thought
Or
so.
something
I think
like
so.
that.
I think it's
Something
something
weird.
like that. But you get to see all that, so it's like, oh, okay, he's got this weird obsession. It's cool.
Do you think he banged the walrus?
I think he banged Justin Long.
I think so too. There was definitely a poop shoot in that.
When he's doing the weird shirt off thing and he's
Oh,
like
when
rubbing up against him in the
floating
shallow
in-
pool. Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh my god. It's so weird.
Yeah, I think he banged the walrus because I think he makes a comment like we cuddled, or it kept me warm, or something like that. But I think he banged. There's no way you wouldn't.
Yeah. Or the walrus banged him.
Yeah. Oh, I think so.
I think so.
That's why I saved the penis bone.
Yeah, that's
It
why
was
he
like
got
that was my
that's why he
first
got
way.
the dick. Yeah.
Did we just find a subplot?
I think we did. I think we just made this movie a lot better
I was
too.
about to say the movie's more interesting.
Those of
Thinking
you
he got
listening to this review should listen to the review and then go watch the movie.
and just the whole time picture him getting railed by a
Yeah.
walrus.
And you'll be like, oh, this is one of the black and white scenes that they should have added.
It should have been more white in that black and white scene. But yeah, no, he makes a comment. He's like, oh, he cuddled me. And I was like,
Yeah.
dude, no. They're more than cuddling.
No, there's a lot more in color.
You fucking late night and chilled that thing 100%.
100%.
But yeah, he gets there and that's his weird thing. Is like, I'm gonna use this, and I'm speaking from like, we kind of know our viewer base and like we know what movies they like.
Right.
I wouldn't be fucking interested in hearing about this
No.
if like it was like, okay, cool, we're not doing the leg kid,
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to some weird old guy who got
The walrus?
who got saved by a walrus.
Which I get you're just scraping for content at that point.
Yeah,
but like, you
do you
could have
really
read the second flyer. Like, you didn't have to go with the old dick dude. Like,
Right.
You could have. You could have.
My dick doesn't work.
You could have like just read like the meth heads at the motel. Like, I'm sure you would have got just as interesting of a conversation and probably
Yeah.
would have lived. Like,
I kind of like, I don't know, or yeah, at least a second like idea. Like, maybe he tries to talk to someone at the bar, and like, maybe gets an idea, but this is better. It just he instantly goes for the piss flyer. That's talking about an old dude getting railed by a walrus, and how he
which
misses
goes
it.
back to like Justin Long's character Wally is like so fucking pretentious. Like, he just doesn't care. Everything's an inconvenience to him.
Yeah, but he also doesn't seem like super flippant.
No.
Like, they show him make some smart ass comments, like to the Canadian border guy.
The border guy, the convenience store clerk.
Yeah, but it's not like he's above anyone. He's a douchebag.
He's just a douchebag. Yeah.
So again, I can't even be like, well, he got his just desserts, because it's like,
No, not really.
it wasn't even like he was an irredeemable bastard. Like,
No.
let's show him parking some handicap spots. You know, something. It just, it was like, well, he treated this one guy bad online.
Yeah.
Okay?
The fact that they leave him as a walrus is...
Oh, dude, right. Again, see, the whole movie would be better if it was Haley Joe. And that's what
And
you
he
get
leaves them.
for fucking your friends.
Yeah.
Perfect. It
Right.
would have been a better film.
He gets his phone or something before
Yeah.
he's about to save him. He's like, oh, this is what's going on. Okay, well, fuck you. We'll leave you here.
Absolutely.
And I'll feed you a fish on your
I
birthday.
now know this walrus surgery firsthand.
Right.
And that's the other thing is, man, this surgery should take years and years for healing and like, because he removes his legs.
Yeah.
He grafts leg bones onto his face to make the tusk.
Mm-hmm.
He removes something else, his tongue, and like 4 other things, as well as being encased in this walrus suit.
I don't know how skin works, right? But...
What the fuck does that mean? You don't know how skin works?
But, well, like, they use just layers of skin. He's just laying it on over and over. That's all he's got.
No. It's literally fucking sewed to his face.
Yeah.
Because remember when he hops in the water and his like head sinks back in?
Yeah.
It's an air bubble. It's like literally him
Yeah.
inside a condom of skin.
He just sewed skin onto,
Yes.
like, the top of his... like.
So all that fat that should be, it's not fat. It's just air.
It's just air. So shouldn't you be able to take, like, some fucking box cutter and just pop this shit off?
Exactly,
I mean, like, I'm
like-
sure it would suck, but you could go layer by layer. The shit on the top, on the outside, to fill out the body, you probably wouldn't even feel.
You tell me you don't got skin
I mean,
for
he's
skin
not going to have
grafts?
legs. He's not going to have legs. But those were chopped off to begin with.
Would
You
I
knew
rather
that.
be a walrus getting fed
Or a
fish?
dude in a wheelchair. Yeah,
right?
like...
With a cool story?
I don't...
Michael Parks railed me dressed as a
The
walrus.
whole ending just, like, the longer I watched the movie, because we've watched this movie several times between the two of us,
Yeah.
just, like, it's like, I feel like somebody could have just took, like, a box cutter and cut the string.
It's one of those movies where every time I kind of fondly remember it, but every time I watch it, my enjoyment goes down.
Goes down.
More and more and more.
I
So
agree.
I stopped watching because you were like, okay, you ready to do Tusk? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't bother rewatching because I was like, I'm gonna hate it
Well,
more.
especially for us now, we've watched so many other movies recently that are good. Like, we've just went on, like, a spree of kind of killer movies.
Every movie we watch is great.
Pretty much.
Except Sonic 2.
Don't do that, Sonic.
The hardcore fans are gonna love it.
But-
But yeah, especially A24.
Yeah.
Like, I just got done watching House that Jack built, and I'm like, man, one of these corpses is instantly better than this whole movie.
But to, like, have this, it's like, oh, okay, I see why the audience rating is literally 50. It's split.
Yeah.
Half the people that watch this movie hate it. Hate it to the point they never want to see it again. The other half love it. For the goofiness of it, and then I imagine most of that percentage is people that haven't watched it a lot.
Yeah, the unironic.
Yeah.
It's probably like a 30%. The ironic is a 20%,
Yeah.
which makes it a 50.
Because my favorite part is, like I said, the very end. 5 minutes at the end with Johnny Depp, who makes the cameo that's unlisted. So you're like, oh my god, it's Johnny Depp.
No, the problem was it was fucking listed.
Yeah.
And they like pulled the rug out from people and like, oh, wait till the last 10 minutes. I wasn't impressed.
No.
And everyone
not
says
at
they
all.
can't tell it's Johnny. I'm like, how can you not? It's a fucking fake
I instantly
nose.
knew it was Johnny, yeah. And
It's
then
just,
knowing the whole backstory with his kid and Kevin Smith's kid being friends and they're trying to be actresses or whatever.
Yeah, so that's nepotism.
So, yeah. And then they get their own whole other movie that is apparently shit.
Oh,
So
man, it's terrible.
It's like...
I was going to wait to talk about the other two, or the one that came out and the other one that hasn't. It's a stupid fucking idea.
Yeah. Because, I mean, in the plot, he reads the letter, he goes to the house, he makes him tea or whatever, he drugs him, he tells him about the walrus dick.
The walrus dick is right before he gets drugged.
There's signs that the dude's weird, but you don't quite know how weird just yet, type
Yeah,
shit.
I think the first thing is he told him it's a spider bite.
Yeah.
So he had to amputate leg, a doctor came, blah, blah, blah. I broke your cell phone so you didn't get this stuff.
Yeah.
Just what the fuck.
Weirdo, I'm gonna kill you shit.
And then Michael Parks instantly drops the facade. Which, again, to me, when I think A24, I think very psychological,
Me
very,
too.
like, even when the
Slow
game
burning.
is up,
Yeah,
they
slow
still
burning,
go
yeah.
with it. Like,
Yeah.
he
People
just didn't go
are
with it. He just
bought
dropped it.
in.
Yes.
Everyone in their movies is always bought into whatever's going on. Like,
Yeah.
I think, like, Green Room. Like, fucking... What's his name? Bald-headed guy.
Patrick Stewart?
Patrick Stewart. 100% invested.
Oh, yeah. I think Patrick Stewart did
No one was leaving.
fucking synagogue burnings.
No one was leaving that like that room. He was his character was invested.
He definitely dropped some hard R's in that show.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, A24. You think a little bit more grounded and mature and highbrow.
And I'm blaming Kevin Smith. 100%.
I 100%. That's the only thing you say is I blame Kevin Smith because we know the production company has some credibility.
Goes on to be flawless.
So it's not them.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin Smith, when's the last fucking good movie you had? Oh, I know, Clerks 1. Like, it's just,
and
I don't
didn't like it.
And
like,
that's just me, as a personal taste. I'm not a big Kevin Smith fan, but I don't get it.
It's too much stoner comic book.
But I like Pineapple Express.
Yeah, because
Like, I can still laugh at that. It's stupid.
Yeah, that's just the right amount, though. This
Yeah.
is like blatant over the top, almost like Three Stooges level of
Again, nothing's
stupidity.
refined.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if the Canadian convenience store was called Chug A Lug? Because
Yeah.
they say A over there.
Right.
Well, he's been doing it for 2 movies now. It's not funny.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if Johnny Depp played a small cameo and he had makeup on because he's the Hollywood hunk and he's the main character? It's not funny.
No.
We know he literally did this to you as a sad fucking favor because you probably cried to him.
Because he's a really nice guy.
Yeah. Like, hey, you know how our daughters go to school together?
Yeah.
Can we, like, work together?
And you're like super famous. Can you like do a movie?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Put your daughter in it, sure.
I mean, I like Red State, but it's the most un-Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah.
In his entire filmography, it's just.
That's why it's the best.
He got away from himself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I hate to say about some directors and some actors, where it's like, stop playing yourself.
Yeah.
I'm fine with you having your flair to it, but it's like, I don't want to see the same movie 30 times.
I think somebody on the perfect, like, opposite side of this is like a Jordan Peele. Someone who come from comedy, did good comedy, sketch comedy with Key and Peele, but found his niche in psychological thriller, that next level. Like, okay, I don't have to lean on the comedy crutch of everything.
It comes so
everything
naturally.
needs to be like a joke payoff.
So he has to sometimes make it not a joke because he's naturally writing a
Sometimes
joke.
it needs to just be dark.
Yes.
It needs to just be weird. It needs to just be creepy. I feel like...
And this movie didn't. It was in its own way the whole time.
Yeah. But those are the two that, like, if you're like dumb, it's Kevin Smith. You're like smart, it's Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
It's like the doubles.
But then you watch each other's products where it's like, okay, watch Jordan Peele's comedy. It's the stupidest comedy in the world. But then you watch some Kevin Smith comedy, and it's like, well, it's a little bit of a thinker.
Yeah.
But then you see them do horror, and it's the exact opposite.
It's such a weird paradigm. I guess it just goes like personality, I guess.
But I just haven't seen Kevin Smith do anything like Red State again to say, well, this wasn't a lightning struck once. That was definitely lightning. This could be his voice. I
wonder if a lot of the actors didn't hold him to it, because you get John Goodman, shit like that. It's like...
I don't know.
I think we're just gonna do this movie. Like, cool, yeah. Like your premise, we're just gonna do it.
No, because I think he has the same amount of like fingers as in any other movie. Because like I saw a couple bonus and like the behind. He was still very
hands on with it or whatever.
Yeah, it was still like he was correcting John Goodman a couple times.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
I don't know.
I think he has a talent. Just he won't get out of his own fucking way.
Or you see it a lot with like musicians who like jump genres.
Yes.
Maybe you have enough for one album. You can't have a career as a country singer, but maybe you can write one good country album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've lived enough, you've seen enough, and you play this. Maybe you can do that and have one good one. You don't need a whole career
to
in
win that career.
Yeah. Like I feel like that was Red State with Kevin Smith. Like, okay, I have these cool ideas. I'm gonna put them all in this movie. And it's like that's fucking perfect.
That movie's flawless.
Yeah, it's like that's fucking perfect. But
it's so good. But
I
this
feel like,
is so bad.
And that wasn't his first or anything.
Red State?
Yeah,
No.
that was like third or fourth, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably a little bit later because he has Clerks, Jay and Silent Bob, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Dogma, maybe even Clerks 2, or maybe Clerks 2 came after Red State. But I'd say it was at least his fourth to fifth film. Because I've gotten all his comedies where I haven't got the Tusk. And Tusk is 2014. I think Red State may have been before Tusk. I think Red State is 2010. Because it was that, like, I think the end of a Bush era, beginning of Barack Obama.
Yeah, 2011, it come out right after Cop Out.
Yeah.
And before Jay and Silent
Oh,
Bob.
I forgot he did that. Two
weird TV movies.
Yes, yeah, that's a. Don't forget he has all the his actual podcast shit and his TV shit.
Because his next movie, it's Red State, Tusk, Yoga Hosers.
Yoga Hosers. And then Moose Jaw, that's TBD still, correct?
Yes.
That's so fucking weird.
You gotta love it.
Remember the last time I looked up that Wikipedia was like probably 5 fucking years ago.
And it was still
still
TBD.
in production.
That's hilarious.
Alright, so I mean, again, that's the plot. So I mean, it doesn't really matter. That's the plot. He gets turned to a walrus.
And then Haley Joel Osment and the girlfriend.
They're fucking, and I think
they eventually
does
make
Haley
their
Joel
way to...
delete a voicemail or two first?
Yes.
And then...
Yeah, they clean it all up. Then they go to the cops. The
then
cops don't
out.
believe them because it's the Nazi podcast. And so then they have to go to Canada, and then that's when they meet John Depp, who is a private investigator. Yeah.
I am Guy Lapointe.
And he's just he's a really eclectic character that you get to see at a diner, have 5 or 6 good lines in like a 10-minute scene, and then the movie's over.
I have a stupid question. The Howard House, him and the Walrus backstories were black and white.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp going to the Michael Parks memory when he first met him. That was not in black and white.
Full color. Full color, because he's like on the steps or whatever. He walks up and he's like, I think I've seen the man.
Yeah.
It's like, you did.
Isn't that weird? I know, like, get it, these memories are older, but...
Yeah.
But your formula for the movie is literally every flashback is black and white.
It's been in black and
white. Why
white,
would your flashback, the one left in the film, not be black and white?
And to me, it would have made the scene even funnier.
It would have.
Because they were already in the diner, so he's having these like epic,
Well,
elegant flashbacks.
Yeah, it's because the elegant flashbacks before are like the black and white, and it's stark, and it's kind of drama-y.
Yeah.
And then this flashback is so comedic.
Yeah.
It would have been way better if it's black and white as well, because you're anticipating it to be
good,
a little
serious,
darker, a little what's going on, because you know it's the first time he meets the killer.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be something weird about it, and the fact it's a juxtaposition of him just talking about a piss spider.
Yeah.
It would have been great.
Hilarious.
And I believe. Is that the that's the only time they met? There's no other
I
think he brings up the Gumtree ad, and it's a hockey player.
It's like it's a
with
hockey
one
player.
of the first couple victims, and they have a
Yep.
Which again, I get the police are like, oh, you're the Nazi party, we're gonna be, but they have evidence of like shit
Other death. Yeah.
So it's like, hey, we keep knowing about these other guys.
He was a cop. Like Johnny Depp was a cop.
Would they not be interested in why these random Americans have information on a Canadian serial killer you've yet to put any information out on?
It just doesn't make sense.
It's convenient.
Yeah.
The whole movie's just convenient.
Everything is convenient. Yeah. Yep.
It's too convenient.
Yep.
And I don't I don't like him having to get rid of his cell phone. It's like, well, I had to break it, or whatever his excuse was, but it's like, everyone's fucking problem when they talk about a horror is like, well, cell phones exist now.
Yeah.
Good luck, that wouldn't happen. I don't have service half the time on my cell phone.
Right, yeah, I don't like that that's like a cop-out. I get, like, if you're like...
It would have been better if he's like playing, like, keep the phone.
Yeah.
There's no internet, keep it. Fucking play Angry Birds. I don't care. No one's coming.
Yeah.
It's just, it was stupid. You had to be like, well, I had to break the phone.
Yeah.
It was like, he has an iPhone 2.
They
First of all.
They could have just disregarded the whole phone thing and just never brought it up. I don't understand why you would have to have
You
that...
dropped it in the toilet when you were drugged.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what phone? I didn't see a phone.
Yeah, it was just fucking stupid. And the spider bite thing, it was
Yeah.
just, it's that convenience.
Because it quickly goes from like, okay, maybe you can get your way out of here, to, no, you're a fucking human walrus, so it's a little path you're going to save yourself.
Yeah, so again, they should have leaned it at more at this point. At like, it's not necessarily funny, it's just the situation is awkward.
Yeah.
You don't need to write haha anymore. This is now, you're part in the horror movie where you're 3/4 in.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to get dark. It's time to get fucking serious.
This movie was like...
And it didn't.
Perfectly awkward and Canadian.
Yeah.
It felt Canadian. I don't know how to describe it.
It was supposed to, but it felt like an American
American-made Canadian, yeah. South Park.
Because
it
I'll
felt like
fucking tell
human
you,
South Park style.
There's like 2 Canadian movies I did not know were Canadian, and holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Crying Freeman, based on the manga, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, it's a Canadian movie, and I was like, damn. And it's like a John Woo, bullet time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's Canadian movies that, like, are really good at, like...
But when you think of, like, stereotypical Canadian...
But too much now.
Yeah, oh, way too much.
It wasn't even just, like, a funny, put people in flannel.
Yeah, it was blatant over-the-topness.
You had to make 30 maple syrup jokes.
Yeah.
You had to make a moose joke.
Johnny Depp's whole character is a Canada joke.
Yeah.
He's
a French-Canadian joke.
It gets stupid.
Even funnier.
Yeah. Because they're in another province, and they don't care for the French-Canadians there.
And then the one American joke is when Johnny Depp hands hands Wally / I guess Haley Joe's girlfriend a gun.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I don't believe in guns. And he's like, oh, one American that doesn't believe in guns?
Yeah. That was pretty good.
I don't know. It was just, like, again...
That was a Johnny Depp stick.
It could have been a Red State joke.
Yeah, should have been.
It could have been like a real American joke, not just a not thought out. Like, it was like, hey, Canadian joke written here.
Yeah.
And then you literally have Justin Long in the final cut of the film going, insert Canadian joke, look up at border agent.
Yeah.
It was so stiff and just so, And my other flaw of being quote-unquote convenient. Hear me out. Johnny Depp, the girlfriend, Haley Joe, are in a field. They hear Justin Long scream. Correct?
Yeah.
Justin Long is in a basement in a house like 3 miles up the road.
Yeah, I don't... Unless there's like a tunnel or something we didn't see.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't...
And his screaming gets lower when they get closer. Like, and there's like a huge stick of like, they go down like 3 or 4 layers of stairs, and it's like, oh, we're on the first floor. How many floors is there? LOL.
Yeah.
But his screaming gets lower when they're in the house, to where they can barely hear him behind the door when they break the door down.
Yeah.
And I was like, am I being stupid? And I went back 3 minutes and I watched the scene again. It's literally, you can clearly hear, help!
Yeah.
In a big open field. And then there's a 2-minute scene of them running from the field into the house, down the stairs, blah, 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 all over again. And they could barely hear him out the door. I was like, what the fuck am I missing? It's that convenience where it's just too fucking convenient.
Yeah, and
he just felt like he didn't have to do any work. It was just, I'm gonna fuck around for 14 days. And
yeah, and that's what it feels like.
Waste
it feels
money.
Like feels like family vacation for the Depps and the Smiths.
Which is fine if you paid for it. But the fact that it was like literally funded by fans, it wasn't even like, well, screw this production company, well, screw Netflix. It was like, this is literally people who are like scraping by at McDonald's and just like Kevin Smith, and they want to be a part of something. And this, And to me, Red State has the same budget, at least in like feeling.
Yeah,
Like,
it does.
can you look at the budget? Because this was 3. It made 1. What's Red State? Like 5 or something? Because Red State feels very, very cheap, but in a good way. Like, it's 2 or 3 houses, and then it's an open field. They don't even mention the hippies up there. Or they mention hippies, but they don't even show the hippies. Like,
Yeah, no, you just hear the
trumpet at the
Yeah.
end. So it's like, he knows how to work cheap. I mean, Clerks is cheap, and it's
same thing.
literally 3-4 million.
Budget $4 million, box
Wow.
office 1.8.
So he has no fucking excuse of
Nope.
why Tusk was so dumb.
Yep. Apparently, he makes movies exactly twice as good as he should. I hate
He can
to
talk people into giving
Yeah.
him twice the amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't want this podcast to turn into me shitting on the guy, but
Yeah, and like
I
I'm
have
looking
to
at
say
like his entire filmography as a director.
he's literally been beating Clerks and Jay and Silent Bob to death for 30 years.
To death, Mallrats, all that, and all that's the same thing. And then like his first movie that's like out of the way that I see is Jersey Girl in 2004.
Yes. I
That's-
forgot he
that's
did that
different.
with, what's his face?
Affleck
George Carlin's in it. George
George
Carlin
Carlin
plays
is the
the
grandpa.
grandpa.
and Jennifer Lopez is the wife. It was
Yes.
a good movie. I like Jersey Girl.
Yeah, I remember.
Personally.
I remember liking it. Yeah. So I mean,
And then he goes right back to the
Jay and Silent Bob.
Yep. And then Zach and Mira make a porno.
I forgot he did that.
Yep.
Ugh.
And then you get Cop Out, which I don't remember what Cop Out was.
It's that Bruce Willis and Kevin Hart movie. This is where that infamous they
yeah,
fucking hate each other.
I do remember that.
It wasn't good. It was like a shitty taxi.
Shitty National Security, Martin
Yeah.
Lawrence and Steve Zahn. But then right after that you get Red State, and then Back to the Well, Jay and Silent Bob, and then Tusk, Yoga Hosers.
And then he's doing Clerks again.
Yeah. And then, literally goes back into TV for a little bit, and then back. It's
Which again is fine, but like, do you really deserve to keep getting movies? No matter
No.
how cheap you can make them, do you really? What
And
are you doing different?
And at some point, you just have to put him in perspective of other directors. Like, he's made some cool movies.
The
That's
first
it.
3 of Quentin's are already more diverse.
Oh, yeah.
And more in depth than
No question.
all of his filmography.
And
The first 3 Christopher Nolan movies I hate are better than Kevin Smith's whole filmography.
And I know you know the same amount of people as I do. The fucking douchebag comedy bros, stoner movies. Oh, Kevin Smith's the shit. All his movies are good. It's like
Because it's the same fucking movie.
They're
You
the
enjoyed
same,
you
yeah.
enjoyed Clerks too? Cool. You're going to enjoy every goddamn thing he does.
you're gonna enjoy Clerks 15.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
But yeah, I felt the movie was really lacking in every aspect. It wasn't enough comedy. It wasn't enough horror.
It wasn't dark enough. Like, we just watched Lady Killers recently. Like,
Yeah,
that's a dark comedy.
but it rides the line so well.
So well. This, like, there was no line. It's just goofy as fuck.
Yeah, I think the thing that you're kind of saying is, like, in Lady Killers, they make a dark joke about killing the old woman, but then they try to kill the old woman.
Yeah.
In this movie,
And, I mean,
Kevin
they fail,
Smith,
so it's
I mean,
funny.
Johnny Depp's talking about the body horror going on of, what Wally's going through, which is true.
Yeah.
I never once felt for him. I never once felt scared. Never once felt intense. You didn't show me the surgery scenes, really. You showed me a couple drawings. I wasn't grossed out at any point. I mean, the walrus suit kind of impressed me until I saw it was just full of air.
Yeah.
And his head sunk in like a fucking foreskin. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
It's just so dumb. And the walrus fight kind of bummed me out.
It was whack. It should have been way better than that.
I did like it in theory. You have Tusk by Fleetwood Mac playing that dun 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 dun.
That was the whole budget.
In
Was the song.
I bet.
That was the whole
I
budget.
bet the budget. I bet the
Yeah.
song was like $700,000
Yeah.
to get.
Well, I'm pretty sure everyone has said that because Johnny Depp I'm pretty sure didn't get paid for this.
Oh, I think he worked for like literally what's it called?
Like-
Blah, blah, blah. Working for literally what you're on screen for, not
Yeah.
who you are.
Yeah.
So like if you're in this movie for 5 minutes,
You
and
work
you're-
like an extra for
Yes.
a day and a half.
Yeah, you're
type
talking
shit.
extra.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, working for something, but yeah.
Kind of like a designated rate of pay shit.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously it was a fucking tax write-off, too. I mean, you
Yeah.
know it. You know he got a goddamn Porsche out of that car. Out of that movie.
There's fucking kids in the movie.
Yeah, it just...
You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't... this had other implications than that. But apparently his character was supposed to be Quentin Tarantino. And Quentin...
Oh, Johnny Depp?
Yeah. And Quentin was like, He just got done with Django. I was like, I'm good. I don't need this.
Especially right after Django.
Yeah, I don't need this.
How did you get my fucking number?
Yeah, I could hear Quentin.
My maid is literally supposed to not push you through when you call.
I gotta fire her now.
And
Thanks,
stop going through my fucking trash.
Yeah, thanks,
You're
Kat.
the one that leaked the Hateful Eight screen. I know it.
I know it. You're
It's
the
a good
reason everybody
conspiracy
knows
theory.
it
Let's
is.
do it. Conspiracy theory. Kevin Smith was the one that leaked Hateful Eight script.
Definitely. After this
He was
turned
mad.
down.
He was mad.
Yeah,
He was hella mad. He
Yeah.
was like, I needed you for one day, you motherfucker.
Apparently he wrote it for Quentin and just had to like get his buddy Johnny Depp to do it.
Yeah, but in fairness, I wrote things with Quentin Tarantino in mind. Doesn't mean he fucking owes me and he should be doing it, and I'm mad at him. I'm mad at you for not doing my movie. What would you rate it as far as... We'll do it separately. As a film, and then trying to give it some credibility as a Kevin Smith film.
Alright, let me do the Kevin Smith one first.
Yeah, give me your generous score and like why you're putting it highish.
Kevin Smith,
Well,
this
hopefully
is
putting it
number 3 for me. This is number 3.
Behind what? Red State, obviously.
Red State, obviously, and Jersey Girl is number 2 for me. I'll go there. It'll be Red State, Jersey Girl, this.
Those are the only two acceptable number twos.
Yeah.
Anything else someone tells me like, oh, I like Kevin Smith, and they're like, you're an asshole.
I mean, like,
But if someone brings Jersey Girl into the argument, I'm like, you know your shit.
Someone might like like Clerks or Jay and Silent Bob, and they're okay, but to me,
Which is cool. Yeah, we never once said like you're a bad person if you like Clerks.
Yeah, no, it's just a
I just
different
don't like
brand
it.
of comedy. Some people can't sit through Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
like Land of the Lost and Talladega Nights. Some people can't.
I can't sit through Land of the Lost.
Right.
So I get it. Yeah.
But as far as Kevin Smith goes, like you may put a Clerks 1 or 2 up there because of the iconicness of it, but other than those, every other movie we listed was just money grab off of the name of Clerks, of Mallrats, of Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have any of those up there. I would disqualify them actually for all being the same fucking movie.
Right, like you're only allowed Dogma and Mallrats.
Right, yeah. You can't have all the other ones. That's fucking ridiculous, yeah. So that's my 3 for him, would be...
So it would be in your top 3 of Kevin Smith now?
Yeah.
Okay. What about regular film?
Rating it on
Comparing this
our,
to some Paul Thomas Anderson and some Matt Reeves and some Finchers.
What did we just give? This is going to be low. It's got to be low. It's got
to be low. It's Tusk.
It's got to be low. What did I give Insomnia? Like a 6?
I think you gave it a
6
a
or a
6
7.
or a 5 because you were being like I always do.
Yeah.
You're like you can go 1 point higher. I'm like then you go 1 point higher.
Yeah.
But I think you give it like a fair 5 or 6.
Then this has to be like a 3. Because I'll watch Insomnia twice to every one time I'll watch.
What are your high points of this movie? Like what do you
Just Michael Parks.
Just
Michael Parks. What do you want from me?
Michael Parks got to take his grandkids to the fucking park that day.
That's it. I'm glad. Yeah, we financed a Disney World trip for his granddaughters.
That's cool.
That's about it. I don't give a fuck about anybody else in this movie. I think his kid sucks. I think Johnny Depp's kid sucks. I think Johnny Depp sucks in this. I think Justin Long sucks in this.
Yeah, that was my big thing. Like
I like Haley Joel Osment.
Because I forgot Justin Long was in Jeepers Creepers until I just watched it. Like because you were talking about like a month ago, and I was like, oh, cool.
They are decent.
They're decent, but I was like watching. I'm like, man, Justin Long is like fucking
good.
12 in this. Like
super.
he's like young as shit.
I just watched Dodgeball and did the same.
He's so young in that, and that's even later-ish in his career than that. But yeah, I'm watching it. I'm like, this is about the same. I mean, probably not budget, but I mean, it's a low-budget horror comedy.
Yeah, because they didn't know what Jeepers Creepers would become.
So like, I'm watching it. I'm like, he's genuinely decent in this.
Yeah.
Like, and then I watched this, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
You literally know how to act in this film. You know how to fake your way through it because you've done it before.
Yeah.
But you less than fake your way through it.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's almost like Justin Long came into this thinking it was a serious A24 horror, psychological thriller.
I don't know
film.
because A24 did nothing at that point.
And like maybe he was gonna act, and Kevin Smith like hit him in the back of the head with a comic book.
We don't do that
like,
here.
We will not be doing real acting.
Not even a good comic book. Just like whatever someone says.
Yeah, no, like a 2012 Spider-Man reboot.
No, just something. Whatever someone says is expensive. Like no, this is Wolverine 2.
Yeah, we will not be doing that in this movie.
You owe me money.
It's the only logical explanation. Because Jeepers Creepers, he's young as fuck. Like this, he's a little older.
Yeah, it's not even like he fucking ate well. Like, oh, well, the catering must have looked good on this budget.
He's the most disappointing performance in the movie.
Justin
Long.
I'd say Michael Parks is, only because I'm even used to seeing Michael Parks in, like, the Quentin movies and stuff, where he already know he's phoning it in. He's only here because Quentin likes him.
Yeah.
So, but he's even less acting than Dusk Till Dawn.
Right.
And Dusk Till Dawn, he literally takes a shit and makes a stoner joke and dies.
That's true.
In fucking he's the intro kill of the movie.
The movie being so bad puts him higher because, he kind of holds it together.
He at least opened his eyes.
He's the only reason why you finished the movie.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Because if I left it up to just along,
I
could give a fuck less. You're captured. You were a piece of shit.
And now
your friend's banging your girlfriend. I don't care about this. Story's done as far as I'm concerned. He moves on, makes a new podcast. Everything keeps going. He's just like,
see, that'd been cool.
Yeah, like he's just fighting.
Now like that's a podcast gimmick, dude.
Like 10 years later, like Michael Parks is still shirtless, fighting Justin Long the Walrus naked in his fucking swimming pool.
Oh, no, I was thinking about having a walrus as a co-host. Like I was thinking, if you guys turn into a walrus, I'd keep you on, tongue, even if you were just like, and I'd like throw some fish at you.
Yeah, at least get like a segment out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, no reason to. Yeah. Just the logical next step.
I am the podcast.
Cuckoo.
So like that would have been a better ending. Yeah, if he would have kept the podcast going, and it was just Haley Joel Osment and a fucking walrus.
Yeah.
That would have been great. But yeah, it's not even a good zoo. It's like a shitty. It looks like a Detroit zoo. It's so bad. It's like a green pool. It's so fucking bad. But I like how it's
It's like a Jersey Shore zoo on the boardwalk.
You call this a fucking beat? Yeah, it's so good.
Like you a fucking tough walrus.
It's not even big. Yeah, it's like literally like our recording room is bigger than his habitat.
Yeah.
And his body size is like half of this room.
He's got one of them like gray concrete igloo things in the corner.
No, it's not even a good igloo. It's the fucking dog igloo.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The one that gets blown around in the high winds.
And it's like a beach ball.
Yeah.
It's like, man.
Those are like all over the ditches of like Oklahoma. Every time a tornado comes through, it's just fucking dog houses all everywhere.
And the zoo's stupid too, because I mean, dude, if I had a half human walrus, that shit be my fucking.
Oh, I'm making money. That should have been the origin of American Horror Story Freak Show. Like,
yeah, no one was there. There was no like.
There should have been a line around the block, and that was the whole thing. They had to wait.
It's a horror comedy.
Like they had to wait in line. I was like, well, why are they waiting in line years later?
See something.
And he pulls out the fish in the envelope, and he's got to sneak it through the cage. Hey, buddy, happy birthday!
That would have been
the whole
funny.
time he's like crying. Yeah. Like that would have. I just fixed the movie.
Literally, we fixed it 3 times over, either with the podcast ending or them at least leaning into the zoo, because they've been so funny. Seeing like the zoo shirts with like, oh, you could have sold them too.
Yeah, and like it's a fucked up looking
See
walrus
Wally.
shadow. Yeah, Wally the walrus, and it's like his face with
snuck him a fish. You know, you're saying because it's his birthday. It would have been great.
Hey, buddy,
Yeah,
sorry
just,
about that. And he's
so
like,
deep.
kill me. Like you hear him audibly, like he's learned how to speak. He's like, kill me, kill me. You know what I'm
Oh man,
like
a sentient walrus. His first words is kill me.
Yeah, like that's his first words, and like everyone freaks out.
He just
like,
feels like a field
on
trip.
his birthday, like he saved it for when they come. He's like, please.
These like little
kill
English
me.
kids
Yeah.
came over to America to see Wally the walrus.
Yeah,
and
like,
just kill me,
like
clapping.
Like you see him park their car, and there's just like a line. And you're like, oh wow,
That'd
it's
be
going to
great.
be a busy day today. And they just stand in line, and she's got like a balloon and eating the fucking cotton candy or whatever. And like they finally get up there, and like It's like, oh my god, it's him. Nobody did anything about this.
Yeah, clearly. Like, we were looking for, like, the end of Terminator. We've been looking for John Connor for
The whole
12
time,
years.
Like, he's just like, kill me. It's when he starts talking, like, they're like riding bumper cars, like, in the next spot over.
The train
So,
is like, oh, he says that all the time.
Yeah, like, so they can't really see him anymore, but he's still, like, fucking dying.
Kill me,
like,
means fish.
Yeah, that's how the movie should have ended.
Alright, you had 4 endings, I had 3. Ladies and gentlemen, pick your ending. It's better than the one that's listed in the fucking ending.
What would you rate it?
Kevin Smith, like, with his movies in mind,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to your first 2. Easy.
Yeah.
I mean, Red State and Jersey Girl, just because they're the most out of the way.
They're actually
They're the most formulated
decent movies.
I kind of like Dogma.
I haven't seen it.
It's not his best, but I like it because it was like the first time he tried something different.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
It's got Alan Rickman playing like a Metatron angel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a super religious movie. George Carlin plays the Pope.
Oh wow!
They got like Buddy Jesus and shit.
Okay,
It's good.
Okay, yeah. I do
least-
remember that. Yeah, George Carlin's the Pope. I do
Yeah,
remember
or he's
that.
the Cardinal or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's at least something different, and it was back in the day because it was still, I think, Clerks 1 and then that or something maybe between it.
Yeah.
So it was still funny to see Jay and Silent Bob pop up. It was still kind of funny. It was
The
like
cameo.
okay, oh my god, yeah. But Dante wasn't in the movie. Randall wasn't in the movie. It was just a funny Jay and Silent Bob are here. Hey, that's funny for the people who remember it's all my first movie.
That's what it should have stayed.
And yeah, but so it was at least different, and I enjoyed it. So it'd be number 4.
4? Okay.
And man, I'd give it like a fucking 2.
Like a 2?
Probably before we hit the podcast, it was probably like a 3.
Yeah.
But having talked about it,
digging
and
through
like,
it, actually
thought about the film for the first time in
Yeah.
5 years, it's a fucking 2. It's just, I feel like everyone that donated was like, I should be pissed. And I think they were, and that's why you didn't even make the $3 million up.
And I feel like I liked this movie a lot more, like, ironically, than actually liked it.
Oh, see, this is like a Toxic Avenger. This is a Street Trash. This is our generation's, like, it's shitty, but we know it's shitty.
You gotta see it.
Yeah.
It sucks so bad. You have to see it.
You know what? Then I'd give it a 3. I'd go back to a 3, maybe a 3.5.
Yeah.
Only because, this is like a trauma.
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
It's so bad.
This movie gets like 3 golden stars for me. Like, it's so shitty that it's so good. And, like, I still tell people, I bought it on DVD so I can have it like a Bible.
Yeah, this is like Surf Nazis Must
To let
Die.
people fuck themselves and watch it. Because
Yeah.
either you're going to be traumatized by the walrus suit itself. That's weird to people that don't see it.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're going to actually pay attention to the movie and think it's, like, a real thing. And you're going to realize how dumb it is.
Or you had the Johnny Depp fuckboys.
Yeah, or Johnny Depp fuckboy.
Like, here, enjoy. It's just like Pirates. Kind of.
But, yeah, that's where it's at for me. It's 3 stars, but God, it's 3 big golden stars.
I'll agree with you.
For the irony.
Yeah, it took me to the end of the podcast to be like, it's a shitty trauma. It's just a...
Yeah.
It'd be that easily for me if it wasn't fan-funded.
That's
fan-funded
that
just
fucks
puts
it up
a bad
for me.
taste in my mouth.
I agree. That fucks it up for me,
It's
actually.
so scammy.
I kind of want to, like, knock it down for that. Because, like, we're in the age of, like, crowdfunding is a predominant way that people do a lot of things.
Well, it's how some people need... It's how some young directors and...
Exactly.
need.
Well, how many people did this movie turn off from people crowdfunding movies now?
Absolutely.
Like, if I get only...
If Kevin Smith did this to me...
Like, yeah, if I'm on a budget...
What is neighbor Zilla gonna do to me?
Yeah, personally, yeah. And then here you see our faces, and they're like, give us $20,000 and we'll give you a masterpiece.
Yeah, like minimum tier to donate is $30.
Yeah, like, there's no fucking way we wouldn't make a penny because...
And you get like a pin.
Kevin Smith,
Yeah.
author of Clerks and Mallrats and all this shit, just took a big steaming shit on
Exactly.
movies.
If it went Clerks 1, Dogma, Mallrats, Tusk, fucking A. You deserve... Yeah, that's fan-funded. But man, this is after Red State. This is after you pissed off Bruce Willis. This is after you're putting your daughters in the movie. You plan on making this a trilogy, and you're going to ask for money for all 3 of them.
Yeah, that whole comic book show on AMC with The Walking Dead.
Oh my god, he did that.
Oh yeah.
What the hell was
I can't remember.
The Secret Lair? Or where the hell is?
Yeah.
I forgot that exactly. Like you fucking tell me you don't have $3 million lying around. Sell
got
one
3 million
car.
lying around several times
Yeah,
over.
don't go on fucking vacation this
Yeah.
year. I'm sorry, Lily, you're not getting a new fucking pony.
Right. And, like, he's a writer.
Go ride share with Johnny Depp.
He's a writer. He's a director. Like,
It was just sad.
yeah, you're right. That leaves a nasty taste in my mouth. But
Again, I'm not trying to shit on it, but it's just, to me, I have to look at it from always with that perspective of, like, people fucking funded this. I mean, again, people flipping burgers and just love Kevin's, but the people we're making fun of for watching this
yeah.
is who he suckered over.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference. You're listening to this for free.
Yeah.
I'm not charging you to tell, for me to say I don't like your movie.
And we watched this movie under that premise of, you got to see this fucking movie. It's so bizarre. It's such a fucking just mind trip. It's not a good movie. It's just, it's an experience more so than a movie.
The movie would be flawless cheese if it wasn't fan funded.
Yeah, but not experience in the Stanley Kubrick way. Like, experience in the, like homeless guy's dirty sock acid.
Dirty Mike and the Boys.
Yeah, Dirty Mike and the Boys sock acid.
Gotcha.
That kind of experience.
Bring that up. We gotta do that soon.
We gotta do that.
We bring
soon.
it up every time something bad. It's like Dirty Mike and the Boys.
Yeah, Dirty Mike is one of my favorite homeless people of all time.
Who are the other family? I don't
Steve
have
Buscemi and Big Daddy. Give me a sausage McMuffin.
Sausage McMuffin.
And he just like dies.
He's
like mid sentence. Just fucking falls out.
Oh man, it's so good.
Such a
At the end he's in the cart.
yeah.
And he's like put a helmet. He's like ha ha ha.
And he gets him his McMuffin in court.
Yeah.
He busts out the bag.
I forgot that.
Like ooh. He bursts out.
He's a great guy.
Him and the fucking delivery dude get into a fight in the courtroom.
I like how he calls the fucking guy out and he's like, straight piece of chocolate cock.
Straight piece of chocolate cake.
Oh man.
But yeah, for Tusk, I think we've gone on long enough. Kind of an eye-opening review for us as reviewers.
Well, to me, it's solidified that I only really want to do Red State.
Right.
And
Me too.
Never talk about him again. Ever.
Me too.
I genuinely love Red
Oh,
State
yeah.
still.
Absolutely.
And it's cheap done the right way.
Yep. So a good, overwhelming 3 from the Neighborzilla podcast.
2.5.
We are out. Peace.